Open Your Eyes. We're now venturing off into our third segment for the morning. And we know that you're at home and you want to get some stuff dealt with it, especially having those acrylics on your nails and trying to get it off. That could be hard. But
you
we've
sound
got
very
roses.
experienced in this. I'm just leaving you.
You know, my wife, and I watch all the things that she tries so much because I pay attention.
Good job. Don't tell me, tell the other men out there.
I pay attention. So we've got Stacy Badillo on screen with us, and she's the owner of Purple Passion Studio and Spa in Cuticle. She does manis and she does nail removal guides. This lady does everything. Yeah. Stacy, good morning.
Welcome back.
Welcome. Yeah.
Thank you.
We are doing great. And how are you?
I'm doing well as well.
Well, that's great to hear. Stacy, before we start, you know, I think this is a great opportunity to find out as a business owner. We see the restrictions lifting as time goes by, but spas and beauty salons are still not on that list and most likely going to be staying closed for a while longer. How are you doing? I mean, how are you trying to keep things going as a small business owner and an entrepreneur?
Well, I think I've changed my business plan and model and things that we move forward. So Miss Audrey Matura was talking about you coming into the salon and having masks and making appointments. The way my business function, we do only appointments. Mm-hmm. So only a limited amount of people is in the salon at the same time. Okay. And we are not open for business. So let me specify that we are not open for business, but prior, we sanitize all our products with 99% alcohol. Okay. 99% alcohol is medical grade alcohol. So prior to all this COVID-19 pandemic, we were highly sanitized.
Yeah. Yeah, and so you said you've had to get extremely innovative. The last time you were here, you were the last time we had you on the show, you were teaching us how to do color at home and offered at-home color kits. How did that go?
You know what? That was a great business venture. We're currently still doing that. And now I should say we have flights Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays leaving Cuticle. And if anybody wants their color kits in the city, we can provide that.
Excellent.
Do you do video call consultation so you can help match colors?
Yeah.
Yes. So once you have that connection with me, we can go through step by step how to apply specifically for your roots if you're doing the ends. I mean, I can do all that kind of consultation with you.
You know, great, I mean, extra points for innovation because that's just what it takes because when your business is closed, you got to do something. Yeah. And your clients, especially, I know, you know, like I miss my salon. It's just, you have a relationship with them. And yes. I'm sure you have that with your clients there in Cuticle as well. So
exactly. So we've been packaging off like all the nail files that you see here, the buffers. We make our own cuticle softener, cuticle oils, our own massage oils. We also make our own pedicure scrubs, manicure scrubs, or body scrubs.
Oh, wow.
That we are now packaging off and selling to our clients as well so that they can take care of their feet, their nails, and themselves at home.
I just love your layout. It looks like I'm watching a picture off the internet. And I have to remind myself, this is a live video that you set up for us here.
It is.
But Stacy, okay, so let's get into the meat of the matter. So a lot of women didn't realize that they were going to put on nails in February or March and not have the opportunity to touch up, 2-3 months later. And if there's one thing about, I know they don't like calling it fake nails, but tips or whatever it is that once that starts to grow out, you can have a lot of problems.
Yes, you can, because the thicker at the end, the weight is at the end. So once you have the growth here, it can break off and lift. You have many different things that can happen. Yeah. So what I did today is I actually currently have my nails without any polish or gel polish. I specifically did this gel polish last night just so that I can do a demonstration.
Okay.
Okay.
I will demonstrate on how to remove that gel polish that's there. And all you need is a cotton bud, and you would just take a portion of it, and you take some pure acetone. And I'm going to saturate that cotton bud with pure acetone. I need a piece of foil, and I'm just going to put that together right there.
Okay.
I take a rough nail file, and I have to break the top.
So you
So
just
I break
rub it
the
across
top.
the polish itself.
Yes, just to break the top layer, like the top coat. Every woman they go to the beauty salon, they're aware of what they're putting on their nail bed. So we're just breaking the top layer, and we are wrapping that.
I know this one good.
Can you, this is specifically if you have on gel polish.
Gel or acrylic. This is the way to
Oh,
remove
this
it.
works for acrylic too?
This works for acrylic. It's pure acetone.
Okay.
But if you have your acrylic on, what you could do is take a towel and cover your nails, because the heat will actually make that product lift off the nail beds faster. With gel, it's easier you don't need to cover it, and it lifts off faster.
Okay. Now, how long do you leave it?
Well, I'm going to apply, I'm going to start manicure on these nails, and I actually have our cuticle softener. So the same cuticle softener that you see here, I will put on my nail bed and just start pushing back, and by that time I'll come back to this and you'll see the removal of it. So I'm doing two things in one at the same time.
So what we're gonna do is leave that acetone wrapped around your finger for a while. So if you're taking off your gel polish, your gel tips, or acrylic tips.
I would say 5 minutes for gel polish and up to 15 minutes for acrylic nails. What you will do is come in, push off some of that product from the acrylic nail and re-wrap it, because acrylic is sometimes thicker. So if you re-wrap it so that you don't just pull that acrylic product off the nail bed and rip up that nail bed.
Okay, great. And now, for the rest of us who use natural nails, the problem is, and I can attest to this one, washing your hands so much is great, and we got to do it, and we kind of think about our nails, but it does so much in terms of drying out your cuticles and it's hard to maintain.
Okay, so what you need is, I actually have my cuticle oil in pen forms.
Okay.
They are packaged with a little pen tip. They're 15 Belize each for one. So I do have those available for sale as well.
Yeah.
So you keep that in your purse. They're spill proof, and you just put it on your cuticles as long as you're using hand sanitizer. Wash your hands. And it's also good. Remember, this part of your skin is also as delicate as your face. So you can rub that oil in that area as well.
Okay. All right. And so let's get into our manicure. So one, keep on moisturizing, whether it's oil or lotion. If you wash, you can still put those things on too.
Yes, correct. So I have my cuticle softener in my hands, and I'm just putting a little bit on each tip, because it will help just to soften up and make that entire process faster.
Okay.
And soaking your hands with, you can do a little bit of soap, you can do some vinegar. People like trying out some Epsom salt, like you do with your pedicures. Anything that you want to put in your water is okay.
So what is the
Vinegar.
the best option?
For salon purposes, we use soap and water, just because it's antibacterial soap.
Okay.
Right, so for salon purposes, that's what we use. But if you want aromatherapy, you can drop a little bit of essential oils in it for you to smell in that warm water. So it's therapeutic at the same time of giving yourself a manicure.
And is it better for the skin and the nail?
Well, essential oils all has its benefit. Each one has a different kind of benefit. So let's say you have a headache or your mood is feeling a little bit down, you can target that kind of essential oil to uplift you while you're getting a manicure.
Okay.
Yeah, you're a professional.
So how long do you soak it for? Just a little bit of time?
Just a little bit, because we have that cuticle softener on it, so that's gonna help make the job easier.
Now, that's not something we keep at home. I don't have cuticle softener in my house. Is there anything else I can use, or just do straight the soap and water?
You can use just the soap and water if you like. The cuticle oil is adding moisturization at the same time that you are doing this. So it helps.
Makes for a better finish, huh?
Correct. Made for a better finish. I'm just making sure that you're seeing what I'm doing. So
yes.
Yeah, we are.
That excess, you see? That excess on it. And I just have a napkin paper here that I'm working on.
So once you take it out, you start with pushing back. Is that what you're doing? You're scraping off the excess cuticle.
Yes, I'm pushing back the cuticle, exactly.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna go in with a nail clipper, with a nail nipper, I'm sorry, and I'm just gonna go right around the edges here. So just remember to not remove too much. Sometimes people like to overdo it, and then they get more hangnails from it. I just do it lightly because I don't typically have a lot of like hangnails.
Mm-hmm.
So I just clip a little. And I'm making sure, I mean, this is a funny position to be in, but I'm trying to look at the screen at the same time. I'm like, hopefully I don't cut myself here.
I'm scared of that too.
Yeah, and then, like a lot of the times you have like just dry skin right there. But even with a nipper, you don't get to get it off. And my personal trick that I find, even for myself or with clients, is going in with a rough file and just going in the downward motion. And then it just comes off with the cuticle softener on it. That's helping you. That's why we name our cuticle softener Away, because it's melting your cuticle or your calluses away, because we use this on the calluses for the pedicures a lot as well.
Okay.
So once we're done with that, I just want to remove any excess of the cuticle oil, because now I'm going to start filing my nails, whatever desired shape I'd like them.
Okay.
And I have two kinds of file here. This is a rough file that I use to remove that and to remove my cuticle edges, but I can't use that for the edge of my nail bed because that one is too harsh. It will actually break up the edges. So you need a file that is not as smooth as a buffer, but with a less grit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right? So I'm just, as I'm saying, I can't really see the screen, so I'm just guessing that
Oh, you're on there.
I'm doing this right.
You are.
So I don't want anybody to say, "Oh, that's not the way that it should have been done." I'm struggling trying to make sure that I'm looking at the screen at the same time.
Don't worry, Stacy. You're talking to us who know nothing about what should be done.
She got that right.
And I always say there is no way a wrong way, because the way I do it, it's the way that I'm accustomed to doing it. It's the way that works for me as a professional, and every professional has their own way of doing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now I'm going to go in. My trick as well is I like putting on the cuticle oil on the cuticle and on the nail bed before I go in and buff it. Because I feel like when I buff it dry, it stays with the lines on it. But if I buff it with the cuticle oil on it, it gives it the friction, makes that oil seep into the nail bed with the nutrients.
Okay, that's another good tip there.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna go in and buff my, and then so when I'm buffing my nail, I can also like buff the sides to remove any extra cuticle that I left behind.
So you said that since people are not able to go to the salon, that you've been preparing these kits and selling them to your clients. So what would your kit come with?
It has our they're all individual pieces, and it's just based what people would like. We
Okay.
have nail files. We have nail files. They are $2 Belize each. We have our scrubs. They're 5 ounces at 15 Belize each. We have pedicure scrubs as well. They're $5 Belize each. Let's see what else I have. The Cuticle Oil. Those are 15 each. So it just depends. And depends on what the client wants. I just put it together and offer a little discount.
Okay.
So the more you buy, the better.
Of course.
All right. So we did the buffing.
Yes. And so after I've done the buffing with the oil in it, I can rinse my nail off. Let's say now I'm doing a polish, right? So I would want to rinse my fingertips off because I want to remove that oil. If you don't remove the oil and you leave the oil and you polish your nail bed, that nail polish will just lift off because it's too
Right.
much oil on the nail bed.
Okay.
So I'm just wiping that off. And I want to remove this so that you can see it.
Okay.
All right.
And keep in mind, I just put this on last night, so hopefully it does come off by now. So you can see.
So again,
hold
that
on.
the time
So
you're
do you see
looking
the
at is gel polish for 5 minutes. Any tips would be 15 minutes or more. Acrylic
Yeah.
tips.
Yes.
Okay.
So you see
It's
how
lifted.
that edge is just lifted,
Yeah.
and you just go in and you scrape. I mean, you push off. I'm trying to make sure I'm on camera. I can't see through the camera, so
You are.
okay. So you see how that lifts off? Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
See how that lifts off?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll just keep pushing that back and just
So
push it off in a direction that works.
Stacy, you know what happens, right? You know that women are at home and the temptation is that they'll try to peel it off on their own.
Yeah.
Why is that such a bad thing to do? I mean, we know why.
Because
but-
it takes off a layer of your nail bed, and then you say, oh my gosh, my nails are completely ruined from gel. But truly it's not ruined from gel, it's from the application of the removal.
The removal process.
The
You're being too
removal
rough.
process. Exactly, it removes that nail bed.
Yes. Okay.
And let's say any product that you have left behind, you can always just file off
Okay.
and make that nail bed completely free.
Yeah, there you go. It's completely off.
Yes?
Yeah.
Cool.
So don't scrape it too much. You just
Yeah,
want to
well, the thing-
lift it off.
Yeah, you can just scrape it that way once it's soft,
Okay.
right? And it should all come off. But remember, I just put this on yesterday, and so it's still really strong
Yeah.
to just remove in an overnight. But truly, it should have been completely lifted off the nail bed.
Okay.
And the scenario with acrylic nails would be the same. You'd be able to kind of lift off the acrylic nail.
Yes, you pushed it off, and
Ah.
when you push it off, it looks like a paste. I always call it like a paste. And then if it still looks so thick, you rewrap it again.
Okay.
And you let it sit for a little bit more. And then when you go in the next time, all that the rest of it will be completely
Good.
ready to be removed.
So don't force it. Just rewrap it
Don't.
again and let it soak a little bit
Correct.
longer. Yeah. Because
Correct.
you can really damage your nails. I mean, and it
Yes.
can be painful. I think that's the part we're not saying.
It is. Some people nail bed actually bleed from the process. It's so thin and it's tender. So I highly advise to not do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's nothing like some pain from the nails. That thing hurt. So you have to be very
Exactly.
cautious when you're doing it, and you must be gentle.
All right. There we have
Correct.
it. A very quick and easy. And what you did for your manicure was just a basic cleaning. It's going to help you with having more presentable nails. You use cuticle softener and cuticle
Yes.
oil, and you soaked it there in soap and water. Just some buffing and filing and a little bit of trimming.
Yes.
Nice. All right, Stacy, now, you know, people are like, okay, well, how do I get in touch? How do I get my own manicure kit? Do they find you on Facebook?
Message our page or direct message us on our Instagram page, and we will respond to you and ship your packages out.
Okay, all right. Well, you know, thank you so much for the tips.
Stace.
I know that we're all in this learning curve together, and you're making it a little bit easier for a lot of us. So take care and stay safe.